Okay, today we're going to learn the dinim of the 9 days because Tuesday night, Wednesday is Rosh Chodesh, so the laws of the 9 days apply. So generally speaking, the Gemara says when the month of Av comes, you will lessen the simcha. So not a mazel dekadei, the month the Bais Din was destroyed and so on. So if somebody has any lawsuits with Goyim or whatever, it's best to postpone them until after the end of the whole month. If not, at least until after Tisha B'Av. After Tisha B'Av is not as bad. People don't purchase like jewelry, things that you need for the house. Even if somebody needs a car or a washer or dryer, things like that you can buy. But you don't buy like silver or gold, for pleasure, not for for business. You don't do home improvements that are only decorative. Like you don't build a patio or build a vacation house or paint your house, but things that are broken that need to be fixed that you're allowed to do during the 9 days. If you're talking about building a shul or mikveh or something like that, that's no problem. Now, there's also, let me cover as much as I can because that's it.
If you started before,
If you started before and you're going to lose money, you can do it afterwards also. Okay, there's also a minig. Again, by Sephardim, many people only do the week of Tisha B'Av, which is not that much because it's 2 days basically. So there's a minig, you don't eat wine and you don't eat meat. Meat includes chicken, meat. It includes, even if there's no meat in it, like chicken soup, that you take out the chicken, but there's still taste of chicken in the chicken soup. So you don't eat meat or drink wine during the 9 days, unless if somebody listens to a siyum, or it's a bris milah, or pinyin haben with sudas mitzvah. So then halachically you're allowed to eat meat and wine at that suda. In Chabad, the custom is even with the suda we try not to eat meat or wine, but other things you can eat meat or wine. Now, what happens if somebody cooks something pariv in a meat pot? If you have a meat pot, it's mamish meat, but it's clean. Even if it was used that day for meat, you're still allowed to cook something pariv in it and eat like fish or pasta, whatever somebody's going to make. Next is like this. Okay, you need to see him. Okay. Another din and the Gemara and Shulchan Aruch is like this. You're not allowed to clean clothing during the 9 days. Which means if you want to do laundry, you basically have to finish it before the 9 days begin, before Tuesday night at sundown. Because sundown is already Wednesday. Now you're not allowed to give even things to a non-Jewish cleaner, even if you're doing it for after the 9 days, you're still not allowed to give things to clean. The only time you're allowed to clean things, and it's only really until the week of Tisha B'Av, which is this through Shabbos, basically clothing that get dirty very easily. In the time of the Gemara, they didn't have disposable diapers. So children would use diapers, cloth diapers, and they got dirty, and you couldn't have 300 diapers. So those things you're allowed to wash. If somebody doesn't have enough clothing, then they can wash it, it says in Allah, until the week of Tisha B'Av. So people should try to make sure that all the laundry and everything is done before the week of Tisha B'Av. Another important din is, in Shulchan Aruch it says that you're not supposed to wear, not only you're not to wash clothing, again, this is like the dinim of an ovel, an aveluth, you're not allowed to wear freshly laundered garments during this is all, by the way, excepting Shabbos. Shabbos, the whole thing doesn't apply. But you're not supposed to wear freshly laundered clothing during the 9 days. Now, that doesn't apply to underwear, but it applies, let's say, to shirts, pants, let's talk to men. Shirts, pants, and things like jackets and things like that. So, with the custom, it says in halacha, what you do is, let's say you're going to need, for argument's sake, 5 shirts. Again, Shabbos doesn't count. So let's say you're going to need 5 shirts. So you put on, before the 9 days, you wear a shirt for half an hour, change it, put another shirt for half an hour, and then you have already things which are not freshly laundered, and then for the 9 days, you can wear clothing.
So it'd be like crumbling up or stuff.
It says if you didn't do that, then you have to put them on the floor and crumple them up. But the Pasuk right doesn't mean putting on a clean tile floor and just leave it there. You know what I mean? Because then it step on it. Step on it, you're going to make it worse than trying to get it on before the 9 days. So people should, like it says, pants, shirts, dresses, blouses, sweaters, jackets. Now, if somebody already wore, let's say, a suit, they already wore the suit, as long as they wore it for half an hour before the 9 days, they can continue wearing it, or with pants or whatever it is. So just those clothes that somebody's going to need for the 9 days, they should try on. Again, it doesn't apply to underwear, socks, and things like that, but they should try on. In fact, in Halacha it says that even towels, hand towels, you really shouldn't use freshly laundered towels during the 9 days, except Shabbos, of course. So what people would do before the 9 days, they'll take a towel, they'll use it once, fold it up, put it away, another towel, so you need 5 towels. So before the 9 days, they use it once. So then it's used. In Halacha is brought down that in the mikvahs, they're lenient, that you have fresh towels every day in the mikvah, and things like that. So that is with the washing freshly. Now the exception to this, by the way, is we mentioned Shabbos, you're allowed to put on freshly laundered clothing, no problem at all. But Halacha says linen on the bed, you're not allowed to put fresh for Shabbos, even during the 9 days, even Shabbos. So it says in Halacha, you have to, if you want to change your linen, you have to change it in a way that you slept on it before the 9 days. So you can't change your bed Tuesday afternoon that you're sleeping Tuesday night, because Tuesday night is already the 9 days. So what you do is you change it, let's say Monday, so then you have it at least for the amount of the 9 days. Purchasing new garments, B'chal, during the 9 days, you're not supposed to buy new garments, even if they're not expensive, unless it says in Halacha if they're on a big sale. Jews work well with sales. So it's interesting, there's a lot of frum women that sell clothes, So they know 9 days nobody's going to come to buy, because their clientele is frum. So they want to know if they can make a big sale during the 9 days, and then people will, but L'Mashal, there's another din. If you won't buy in the 9 days, you're not going to get it later. Let's say you're in a city during the 9 days, and this thing they only have in this city, they don't have it outside of the city where you live. So then you'd be allowed to buy it, but you can't wear it obviously until after the 9 days. Excuse me. Repairing garments, that you're allowed to do. A button falls off, or with something you need to fix, you could do. But L'Mashal, there's an interesting, many women like to needle point and do all that stuff. So it says during the 9 days you're not supposed to do all that stuff. Needle pointing, knitting, needlecraft, whatever, you don't do that. Huh? Yeah, they said repairing buttons. What?
Is there any difference? The first day is
Rosh Chodesh is no different. All the dinim of the 9 days, even people that eat meat every Rosh Chodesh, let's say, they have during the 9 days they don't do it. So basically for the 9 days you have to eat dairy and fish and, if people have health issues, let's say they're allergic to dairy and they're a restricted diet, they can't eat fish and they're whatever. So then Halacha says, if they need to eat meat because of health reasons, preferably they should eat chicken rather than meat. L'chatchila, you can't eat meat or chicken during the 9 days. Okay, now swimming is not allowed during the 9 days. If somebody has a health issue that the doctor says they must swim, so then you'd be allowed to swim, because then it's health, it's not pleasure. But swimming, bathing swimming.
Swimming like lap swimming.
Lap swimming you're not allowed to do. It's swimming, it's recreational, pleasurable swimming, you're not allowed to. I'm going to say what the halacha is, and then, you do what you want with it. According to halacha, In the 9 days, you're only allowed to wash your face, hands, and feet with cold water. No soap, only cold water. Shabbos, they say you could use warm water. We'll get to that in a second. The pearl, today, the bottom line of this halacha is like this. Years ago, the Gemara says it, the Rambam says it, people used to bathe once a week. That's the people went to the bathhouse. The Rambam's right, you should go to the bathhouse once a week. Now, it's a much different type of a world. Everybody showers basically every day. So, then the question is, are you allowed to shower? So it's like this. According to halacha, you're not supposed to shower. If somebody feels dirty, they can take a shower. If they can use cool water, they should use cool water. If they need warm water, they can use warm water. If they need hot water, you can use hot water. If you need soap, you could use soap. In other words, today a lot of people are lenient with that concept because today people are more meticulous. People shower, bathe every day. So again, people feel much more ichi, so to speak, and therefore, but, one thing is for sure, that people who go to mikveh every day, I mean, explain to you halacha and Shulchan Aruch about mikveh. So if you go every day to the mikveh, you're allowed to go to the mikveh. But in Shulchan Aruch, it's a poskim right, the mikveh shouldn't be hot. Should be cool mikvehs. The pearl, in the Chassidic world, they do hot mikvehs. But definitely, you're not allowed to sit, people go to the mikveh, they sit, soak in the water, that they catch up the world's news in the mikveh, soaking in the hot. If it's a good hot mikveh, they catch up on the world news with everybody else in the mikveh. So that you're not allowed to do. If you go into the mikveh, you have to go in and out, no. Now, another thing, and I emphasize this, and it's taka very wrong for people that do it. If you want to take a shower, if a person feels they need a shower, fine, take a shower. But not in public. Don't go to a mikveh and take a shower. That's against halacha. Halacha says you're not allowed to shower. If a person feels they need a shower, they can, in the house, they can take a shower and then go to the mikveh. Don't stand in the mikveh when Shulchan Aruch says you're not allowed to take a shower and take a shower. It's just not right. So if people go to the mikveh, fine. If you want to take a shower in your house and then go to the mikveh. I mean, whatever. Swimming is not allowed. Now, Erev Shabbos, again, in the Chassidic world, they, Erev Shabbos, first they take regular showers with soap and hot water and even in public, because that's the Chassidic version of that aspect. So in other words, basically, you have to make sure you put on some clothes before the 9 days. You're not supposed to eat meat and wine. Just get ready for the 9 days, so to speak, what needs to be done.
How about scotch, beer, tequila?
The only thing you're not allowed to drink is wine or grape juice. But if you want to drink scotch, tequila, beer, in fact, in Shulchan Aruch it says Saturday night, this Saturday, let's see, in the 9 days. So it says in Shulchan Aruch that you can make Havdalah on wine. Preferably a little kid should drink the wine. But in the Hasidic world, and even poskim right nowadays, many people hold you just drink the wine yourself. There were people that would make Havdalah on beer, because beer is not a problem with the 9 days. But if somebody wants to make Havdalah on wine or grape juice, then they could.
So they can drink?
Huh?
Drink?
The Havdalah, yeah, but not Stam. Not Stam wine, just Havdalah wine.
What about music?
Huh?
What about music?
Music, we said the whole 3 weeks is forbidden. According to many opinions, you're not allowed to even sing during the 9 days. 9 days you can't even sing.
Music?
To quote, I was Lubavitch many years ago when we were much younger, Bachrim. We asked him, you're allowed to listen to Chassidish music during Sfira, or 9 days, 3 weeks. He said, we asked him, you're allowed to hear Lubavitch music during the 3 weeks. He said, are you allowed to eat Lubavitch bread on Pesach? That was his answer. You're allowed to eat Lubavitch bread on Pesach? Music is music.
How about just nigunim, without music?
Nugun, okay, so technically many poskim permit singing during the 9 days, but what's interesting, which is takapella, but by the Rebbe, when the camps would come back, or the day camps, the overnight camps would come back, because they would make in the middle of the 9 days, the camps came and the Rebbe came down to Mincha. So normally when there were kids' rallies, They would sing Ashrei, Ashrei, and their Meidim and Aleinu. During the 9 days, by the Rebbe's minyan, the kids, there was no singing, no Ashrei, no Meidim, no Aleinu, there's no singing. In Poskim, right, most people say you can do singing. Okay, I just want to learn halacha in Beis Bechira. This morning we learned that the Mizbeach's place is exactly where it's supposed to be. U'Meseres B'Yad HaKol is tradition by everybody. Sha'amakim Shabana Bei David Shlomo HaMizbeach, the exact place where David HaMelech and Shlomo built the Mizbeach, B'Gerden Arena, who Amakim is the exact same place that Avram Avinu built the Mizbeach to bring Yitzchak. When Avram Avinu built the Mizbeach to bring Yitzchak as a korban, that was the exact same place where the Mizbeach was in the Beis HaMikdash. Vu Amakim, it's exactly the same place. Shabana Noach Shiyatzim in the Teva. It says in Chumash when Noach came out of the ark, the Teva, he built the Mizbeach. Where did he build the Mizbeach? In the same place where Avram Avinu eventually did. Vu HaMizbeach Shehikir of Olav Kayin VeHevel. And it's the same Mizbeach, the same place that Kayin and Hevel when they brought their korbanos. Ubay Hikir of Adam Arishin Korban Shenivra. And that was the exact same place where Adam Arishin brought a korban when he was created. So in other words, Adam Arishin brought a korban, Kayin and Hevel brought a korban, Noach, Avram, and David, no. And one second, Umisham Nivra. And that earth was where the Mizbeach was. That's the earth Adam Arishin was created from. When the Rambam says, Amr Chacham, the Chachamim say, Mimakim Kaparasi Nivra. Adam Arishin was created from the place of his forgiveness, which is basically the Mizbeach of the Korbanos. Machatchin Salamayim Machabei Mayim, Kivin Shavel, Lao Gol Teira, Ganan Melakash Shemer